Hello, and thank you for tuning in to Weather Watch, Millersville University's exclusive weather entertainment program. I'm your host, Carissa Lincoln. Space, the final frontier, the vast unknown, always changing and developing. Scientists are continuously learning more as we move into the future, but explaining these events that happen in space can be intimidating to the general public. Rachel Coulter takes us up above our atmosphere to communicate the basics.
Outer space is usually associated with finding new planets or life on Mars. But what you might think has nothing to do with your life here on Earth might just hit a little bit closer to home than you thought. Space weather has always been around, but it hasn't been until recently that scientists and media have really started to pick up on it. With our growing industry and our dependence on things like the power grid, solar storms that could have occurred over a century ago would have gone unnoticed, whereas now they could cause a blackout, radio, or power at the drop of a hat. That makes this a science we need to hear about. Janine Fisher from the National Weather Service in Silver Spring, Maryland, describes space weather as variations on the sun, such as radiation, geomagnetic storms, solar flares, and other phenomena that can impact technology in space and on Earth. Although the Earth's magnetic field is able to stop most flares when they make it to our atmosphere, the same doesn't always hold true for CMEs and the geomagnetic storms they can cause. Coronal mass ejections carry more material and act as a shockwave moving towards Earth's atmosphere at high energies, which in turn disturbs the Earth's magnetosphere, and a geomagnetic storm is created. Once created, geomagnetic storms have the ability to terminate power over large areas here on Earth, as well as damage satellites orbiting in space. These types of storms don't happen too often, but our recent dependence on technologies such as power and communications leave us in a vulnerable position. This is why the Space Weather Prediction Center and other government and private agencies are continuously keeping the sun and its activity under close watch. With growing knowledge of the field and help from goesr, Discover, operational coronagraphs, and other powerful instruments, scientists are able to observe and predict space weather in a way that gives leaders here on the ground the ability to make important decisions when a flare or CME is headed our way. As part of the National Weather Service's Weather Ready Nation initiative, many groups have partnered up all over the nation so that knowledge can be maximized. The Space Weather Prediction Center in Boulder, Colorado has a website up accessible by all with models, real-time data, and predictions that give us the information we need. The White House Office of Science and Technology is also a part of this initiative with preparedness and mitigation strategies created with the help of the National Weather Service. Now that we have all of these models and observational abilities of solar activity, it is important that the public, emergency management leaders, aviation control, power companies, radio stations, and others are aware of the impacts of space weather and how we can prepare for them. This is done in several ways by the National Weather Service, including phone calls for FEMA, NASA, airlines, power generation and distribution, or email subscriptions, websites, and social media. USA Today, CNN, and other media outlets at the local and national level have also helped to distribute this information in a clear and powerful way. We at Weather Watch are trying to communicate space weather as well through our piece Spaced Out with Mike Cook. The daily work done by NOAA and the National Weather Service, NASA, FEMA, and the White House and other primary groups is quickly expanding our understanding of space weather, how it affects us, and how we can be prepared for the next solar event. With the help of media and educational resources, we will be able to quickly and accurately bring the facts to your doorstep so that we can become a space weather informed society. If you have any questions or want to check out the multitude of models the Space Weather Prediction Center has to offer, check out the website below. Reporting for Weather Watch, I'm student meteorologist Rachel Coulter.
Thanks, Rachel. Well, that'll wrap up this episode of Weather Watch. Please be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at the addresses shown below. You can also visit our website, muweatherwatch.com, to view all of our previous episodes. For those of you at home, thanks for watching, and be sure to catch us next time.